Moana absolutely started my career. I was 14 when I was cast. I turned 24 only a couple of days ago. So I've had this character in my bones for the last decade, and it's true, it came out in 2016. So it's absolutely changed my life. It took me far beyond the reef, truly, and I love this character for all that she represents. She's so strong and brave and has such a beautiful connection to community and her family and to the Pacific culture at large. So it feels like a true honor to be able to continue playing her. It's not even that I could have added it to my bucket list or that I had hoped and prayed to become a Disney princess. It's something that is completely out of your hands. So yeah, it feels really amazing, and I think Moana is one of these characters that ushers us into thinking of princess and hero, those two words, as being interchangeable, and I really respect her for that.
There is nowhere I could go that I won't be with you.
So you can take a piece from home.
In the first one, she could not get away fast enough. You know, she needed to find herself. She had to leave. Mm-hmm. She was so unhappy on her island. And now, similar place, she's about to leave again, but she's so happy. Yeah. You know, she has everything she wanted in the first movie. She has this beautiful equilibrium and a place that she feels at home on land and sea, mm-hmm. and now she's being asked to give it all up, possibly forever. Like, that's scary. Yeah. I would also be scared.
Yeah, and she also knows what is, like, she also knows what it looks like to be where the sky, in the line where the sky meets the sea. She knows what it looks like, but she's being asked to push beyond that. So that's where that came from.
Yes, absolutely. For the first time in Disney history, a Disney princess has aged. So 3 years have passed since we've last seen her. She's become a tautai, or a master navigator. She's going further and further beyond the reef. And if our last film was about connecting with the past, this film is about connecting with the future, and she is looking to connect all of the islands across the Pacific.
You know what I find really fun about animation and recording voices is that when those actors get in the booth, we have a lot of time to play. You know, sometimes when you're working on a live action film, you're chasing the sun and you only have a very limited amount of time to record a scene, and the schedule is so tight. But when we have our actors come in to record an animation, we get these big chunks of time and we get to try things and we get to get really physical in there. We have this bar in our
efforts bar
in the middle of our studio, and it's something that the actors hold on to. And so I think Auli'i is incredibly exceptional at doing this. You know, all of the sounds Moana makes when she's physical, running and jumping and launching herself off of cliffs and mountains, that's Auli'i on that bar, just really giving it her all, and bringing the character to life in ways that I think it's hard to imagine if you're not in those spaces, but it's so fun. I think first and foremost, we're having a really good time when we're doing it, and you know, Jared and I can sit at our computers and type out the script. You guys can draw the images that put the whole story together, but it's not until you get in the booth with an actor that things really come to life. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a joke come into the booth and they find a way to make it funny in a way that I didn't intend. They just add so many layers, and it's really fun to watch.
I love voice acting because I am simply put into a booth, just myself and probably one of the writers, and no other talent, and I just get to act like a little gremlin. I just get to forget about my hands, make weird and wacky facial expressions. One of my favorite days of filming or voice acting was when Moana gets a blow dart to the butt cheek, and I remember just squishing my face and making it sound like I was affected by a neurotoxin, and it was so much fun. I think I was really glad that was one of the first mediums that I started off with, because I think it taught me to be bold and make choices that were wacky and fun, and to not worry about my face.
What's up, girlie?
Maui?
Can I get a chee-hoo?
What lies beyond?
As we're making an animated film, things start to fall into place, and they're kind of like tentpole moments. A lot of them, to be honest, and these ones are actually musical moments that are really turning points for the character of Moana or Maui and Moana's relationship. So those are moments that we always are working towards, but throughout the process of making the film, we're constantly making everything better or going back and setting up an idea earlier, or we're paying off something in a way that's better. And it's over that process of, 8 screenings or something? Wow. Yeah, we put the film up and watch it, and we really learn about the movie that we're making, and it starts to tell you what it wants to be. And that's an incredible moment when the film really says what it is, and then you can just sort of put the pieces in the right spot.
So we work from scripts, but they also do have some visual development done. So like all the new characters, I mean, they evolved a bit throughout the process, but we knew what Matangi was going to look like. We knew what Loto and Kele and Moni were going to look like.
Giant clam, we saw like conceptual art of that. So.
Yeah, so there were a few stills that like did actually make it into the movie, like of her swimming in front of that beautiful ancestral whale. That was one of the stills. We had Maui lassoing the sun, another one of the stills. So like we had some inspiration, but we mainly worked from black and white sketches for a while because animation takes so long. Like it's a multi-layered process.
A lot of it's all happening at the same time. Part of what Jason's saying, this idea that we screen the film multiple times throughout the course of making it, means that we are often changing the script, changing the visuals as we're figuring out what's working and what's not working, which also means that we're bringing in our voice actors time and again to shift and change performances, and sometimes change huge parts of the story as we're really trying to get things right. But throughout the whole process, we were also working with Emily Baer and Abigail Barlow, who are our songwriters. Yeah. The music in this film is really key to Moana's emotional journey, and so they were along on this ride with us. We would share with them where we felt the story was going, and it was a true collaboration as they were trying to figure out where the songs needed to go to really give Moana and Maui and the crew the emotional moments that they needed to make this story really work. But as for when we all thought it came together, I will say it was pretty late in the game for me.
Yeah, we're very hard on ourselves as we're making this because we're, perfectionists by nature, but also because we love these characters, honestly, and we want to tell a worthy story. I mean, just very small tidbit just for, any of your audience members, like we always record the voices first so that the animators are working towards that. So it's this incredible collaboration of acting between our incredible voice cast and our animators who are actors in their own right, and that combination together is what makes those special performances up on screen.
I love Barlow and Baer. I'm so proud to have worked with them for the sequel because they did an excellent job of melding bits of the songs that we knew from our first film and working with Opataia Fawai from Te Waka and Mark Mancina, who are also from our first films. So to have as kind of a similar era to what we knew, but then also to create all new bops, I felt like Matangi's song, which is our kind of villain character, has such an interesting sultry pop jazz kind of song for her. And then Can I Get a Chihu is Maui's kind of level up song where he gets Moana out of her slump. And then Beyond is a real power ballad that kind of finishes the question of, in our first film, How Far I'll Go, then transitions to I'll Go Beyond.
We actually began with a song that's no longer in the movie. But then, after that, we started at the beginning, the opening number.
Mm-hmm. We just did a lot of research, Disney takes such care with the cultural anchor that is Moana, so we got to speak to the Oceania Cultural Trust, and we got a big Moana Bible our first day. And we got to speak to real-life wayfinders, just like they set us up for success for sure in the very beginning. And we also did a lot of listening to Polynesian and Pacific Island music, which really, I think, influenced the writing process for sure.
Yeah, because when you listen to a lot of hours of music, you can start to figure out the patterns and what chord progressions they naturally gravitate towards and the melodies that are, of the world. And then you can pick and choose where you want to put them in your own music. But I think it was really important for us to have like one foot in, one foot out. We want to pay homage to the world that we are fans of and that everyone loves so much, while also allowing the characters' voices and the music to, expand with the world. Because just even in scale, like the ocean has now gotten 100 times bigger. And so I feel like the music needed to reflect that.
My favorite song from this film is Can I Get a Chihu? I love it's like a showstopper. It's just way over the top. It's a hype song for Moana. And it really sort of is an answer to, in the first film, You're Welcome, which was, Maui all about himself. And in this film, it really speaks to where the relationship is, that he is willing to, for Moana's, she needs to hear that she's got it. And that's a hype song for her. And I love that moment, and it was really fun to make. It's way over the top, but the visual style of it is incredible, and we just had it was a blast to make every part of that.
I like Beyond. Auli'i's voice has really matured in the 8 years since the last film. And I remember being in the booth with her. We were all there. And when she started singing, we all got chicken skin because we just realized not only has Moana grown up in our story, but Auli'i has really matured in so many ways, in really beautiful ways. And so to see the ways real life was imitating art, I mean, you can't make that stuff up.
Yeah, it's very incredibly powerful, actually, to hear a song being sung. It's amazing. She's incredible.
Beyond.
Get Lost.
Because I love like the big climactic wave crash, high note, orchestra swell moment. I love that. I eat it up.
And I love a villainous bop.
I would have to say Beyond. I know I'm a little biased. Sorry, it's my song. But I really love the theme of growth. And I also appreciated being able to grow myself and able to take on new riffs. And the storytelling of that song is really beautiful.